Yo, what's good, gadget grabbers? It's your boy David, and in today's video, we're going to be doing something extremely risky. You already know if you want to win, you got to take risks. So in today's video, I'm going to actually perform a heart surgery on an iPhone 8. Yes, I said it. That's what I'm doing today, and I haven't done a heart surgery in a really long time. If you don't know the heart of a phone, it's the motherboard. And the main reason for this is because right here, as you can see, this iPhone 8 on the right, this red one is destroyed, it's busted, totally butchered. The person actually ran over it by accident. They sold it with another phone, so I didn't actually pay for this. It was kind of like, just take it away. So I got this phone here, and then this phone over here, this other black iPhone 8, is actually in pristine condition. It's just iCloud locked. So if you understand the iCloud lock, you know that affects the motherboard and you're not able to actually get inside the chipset to activate the operating system to use the phone. So I'm gonna swap the motherboard from this butchered phone, hopefully because it's not bent around where the motherboard would be. I'm gonna slide that into this other phone here. Hopefully I can get it to work because I know this red iPhone 8 does not have an iCloud lock, so I'd be restoring this phone out of a $25 cost and into a $300 or $250 phone. So wish me luck. Moving over to the table now to proceed, and let's go ahead and make this flip happen. All right, so here goes the first iPhone. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this one to the side because we do gotta get them both open, but we really wanna see if we can get the motherboard out of here first. If not, then there's nearly no point of this. Besides the back camera being like out of place, I'll see if it's still intact, because that could be salvaged. But let's go ahead and get these two pentalobe screws out real quick. These ones are much longer than before. Start lifting up this. Should wear some gloves because it's a lot of glass. Come help a brother out. Okay. Let's get that one side unlocked. Now, don't forget the 8 opens like a book, right? Very much like the 7. So you just want to loosen that top part and hopefully oops. Try to not make any cracks, but seems like the screen is totally damaged here. Whew. Okay. Ooh. All right, so we finally got in there. And if you guys can see, it really seems like the motherboard should be good, y'all. If you could see, it's not, it doesn't seem any, the inside looks like, a car accident. Everything on the inside is intact. All the passengers can get out. It's kind of cool. So what I'm going to be doing next is removing this front screen. The back camera. I mean, from the outside, you can't really see that. it's gone, you know, just the glass. And then from the inside, it looks like very in the same place, but you never know what will happen with those lenses during the shock. So those are always just up to be tested, but they're not. You can't really tell. The battery, I'm surprised, is not even really being like bent that much. Battery. It does have a curve in it, but it's not flat. But I thought, you know, it might explode already. But anyway, here's the outline of the motherboard after we remove these two shields here and here, and this one here, of course. You can see it's shaped like an L. So I take this part out. See, on the iPhone 7, these are the tri-points, but now these are Phillips here. Wait, is it the iPhone 7 or the 7 Plus? I know it when I see it. Seems like this one is not really magnetized right now. Just to get these guys out of here. Alright, so I always use a screw arrangement whenever I take these out. I keep them in the same proportion to each other because that's how I remember which one goes where. I have nails, or else I'd use my tweezers. And what the first thing I want to do is disconnect the battery. So the battery, for you guys to see it actually. This is the battery's connector. Right here. And you disconnect it like that. Okay, cool. And these two also, LCD, home button, and the digitizer. Now I'm gonna move up here to the, sorry, can you see? Now I'm gonna move up here to the camera connector, camera ear speaker right here. So to remove these, I'm gonna use the same Phillips, because on the iPhone 8, it's Phillips. They talking Phillips on the iPhone 8, but you see this glass stuff? Phillips. So got that Phillips. So I'm kind of like still coming in through the right hand side because this cable is really fragile. So you don't want to try to move the cable. You want to move around the cable. So try not to even touch it. I mean, you're fine if you do, but just get inside the grooves. Alright, so now to remove the cable here, we're always referring to the plastic pieces. Okay, so now with that done, there goes the screen. So now the screen is detached. See, what I can do is go ahead and start the procedure and remove the other screen on this iPhone, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to pause the video. That's how you connect. So I'm reconnecting the LCDs. First, the first cable. a second. And then the camera. Guys, this is incredible. This iPhone that was run over still works. I put a new screen on and it's actually charging. So the good news is this what I'm trying to do is gonna work because the motherboard hopefully works. I'm gonna test it out in a few minutes. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this motherboard because I know I don't need it in here. I probably need it on a listing on eBay if someone has the business to get into this business, okay? So go ahead and move this. Yeah, I mean, I could do really good in the studio. And I'm gonna start disconnecting these cables here. I have all these fucking disconnected. So for this one down here, I need a flathead Phillips. So I'm gonna come this way. So I got that bar off. Another cable. Alright, and then here comes this grounding piece. So this piece got like 3 pieces on it. But you do need to take it off in order to get the motherboard off. But it is on the other phone, but we still gotta get it all off. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my flathead, come back down this way. I'll put this next to the corresponding screw because a screw does go, a screw does go in that same location. So I just got a corresponding screw for that. Let me see if I can, well, I have to do something like this. Okay. Bring this back. All right. So now, coming still, had another one, this one here. And then this one here. Okay, now we got that out. All right, and now we have one more screw here over top. From here we should be able to get some lift up. We still have the SIM tray, so we got to get that out as well. or else we're not getting nothing out. AT&T. Alright, let's see about that lift. Still like we got some resistance with the pusher. Let me put the okay, so we got it to separate just a bit, but I'm not forcing it or anything. That's just coming up by itself. All right. So, interestingly enough, this iPhone seems to be turning on right now. It seems to be on right now. It's on. I doubt the home button works. Or no, the Touch ID won't work because it's the wrong Touch ID. Yeah, so it's not the same home button as it was. So we'll come back to this in a minute, and I'll see if I can pull up the text message and see if the PIN number was in there. If it wasn't in there, I'm gonna go ahead and let's just go ahead and finish this first. It might be a part 2 to this video, so we got to get this hard out. All right, so we got one more screw over here in the top right. In the top left. It's a Phillips underneath the grounding clip. So I'll put it over there. And this is the time for tweezers. I'm gonna have to take this whole piece out. And then we'll go on the far left. See, the good news is the motherboard is lifting out now from the left and from the under, so now I gotta loosen up by taking out these last two, hopefully, screws up here at the top right near the camera. That one I'm gonna need a flathead. Yeah. Okay, seems like there's another cable. And then another grounding clip at the top of the phone. So that was that, and then this up at the top. go ahead and take out this. Hold on. Go ahead and take out this camera screw. I just wanted to get the camera out of the way so that I could see exactly what I'm doing. Um, So I'm trying to figure out exactly how this is deciding not to come out. Oh, I see. There's another screw underneath. That's a flathead. I couldn't see it. So then how does this come out? Oh. Okay. It's adhesive. I was just being just a little bit too nice with it. It's a little adhesive there. So it came out nice and sound. So now I just have to make sure I put it next to its screws. There you go. Alright, so now it seems like we have hopefully one more screw, which is this flathead here at the top. Seems to be. Okay. So now this one has to go above. This is a lot of flathead screws that have center screws that go and hold something on top of them. I'm going to show you how my layout looks like for these screws, so hopefully you can have a picture of how I'm hopefully going to show y'all there's no screws left. Hopefully. So the thing holding me back this whole time was a hidden screw right underneath this piece of foam. But now that it's off, it's just off. Got the last screw. So then now the heart has been removed from the body. This is the brain and the heart of your computer. Well, yeah. So I'm going to set this aside. This is our winning motherboard. This is the one that we're going to be using. Sorry, this is the one that we're not going to be using. This is the iCloud locked one. So before we even move too far, I'm going to go ahead and sticker this. So this shield that I took off, this can go back. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it until I put the new motherboard in. So I'm going to set this phone aside altogether now. And now we have the shattered, but yet still working iPhone 8. We'll go ahead and shut it off. Alright, so we're going to pretty much do the same process. I think I'll just come back when I have all the screws out and the motherboard release. Alright. Okay, so I wanted to break down my process so that I could give you guys some insight I'm still working on getting this motherboard out, but I wanted to stop and do this real quick. So when I was taking the screws out, right, to keep it organized and my mind peaceful, I know that I'm not coming home with two phones. I know that one of these phones is just going to be salvaged for the parts, and then the remaining screws and shields are going to go to the trash, most likely. So when I first started, you guys know I took out the LCD shield first from, turn this sideways, from this area. I'm trying to make it easy. From this area, because you got the same L shape, right? So I took that L shape off first, and then I did the top corner. You know what I'm saying? That's like the shape of it, wide, and then it has the little top 3 screws. And then when I started taking the motherboards out, there's another screw in the same exact location underneath. You see this one here, this one here, this one has 2 as well. The second one is hiding underneath this metal flap, or a little paper. You can see it. See what I mean? So that's 2 screws, because on the motherboard, there's a screw that goes in there, and then there's a screw that sits inside of it. So they're at the same spot. And then moving over to the left, I took off this cover shield, which is here, 2 screws. And then right above it, those were 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That one was at the top, so that one's at the top. Hope you can understand what I'm showing you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then that was the top one that goes into the top side there. So pretty much I started from right to left as far as what I took apart, and in order for me to put it back together, I must continue back that way. And it's just the smoothest, easiest way. I'm doing 2 phones on 1 mat. I'm not stressed out or anything. So let me go ahead and continue. Alright. Alright, so now we have the heart transplant. The good unit has been removed, everyone. It's been removed, everyone. This is the iCloud locked version. Hallelujah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here where I know it needs to be. But I do want to show you guys, this phone is still in pretty good shape as far as insides. Up here, the camera, I'm actually gonna take that out to see how it exits. Just from an overview view, it looks like it's in good shape. And there's nothing on it that would make me doubt it. I will have to power it on and see first. All these other things are hardly ever replaced besides the battery. So that's the only, salvaging I want to really do, because I don't see the point, honestly. So I might get the battery later on, but I'm going to go ahead and actually put this guy back in here so he can go back to his room. And now it's time for us to reassemble the iPhone. We want to put this motherboard, although it is slightly bent, we want to put it in and screw it down, and we're going to move back from left to right and get all of our pieces back aligned. So we're going to go ahead and start this like we ain't got no time. So where do I start again? Go ahead and start by sitting it inside. And seeing how the bend is affecting it. This area over here by the camera, there's this frame piece that needs to go above. So really, the really bent area is this top left corner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start from the bottom right, and I'm going to have that area secure and screwed, and then the top left is going to have to obey when it's my turn to screw that one. Okay, so I'm going to start with the foundation screws, the ones that have the mouth, and they are the flathead screws. Start with that first one down here. Alright, and then I'm going to move to this top right screw. That's the foundation screw, which would be this one. Now I think this needs to move first. Alright, so I got that one in there. I don't want to connect any of the cables right now. All of these four don't need to be messed with right now. I think this guy is supposed to go inside of this black circle. Alright, so now that I got it back inside of the circle, the next thing was that secret screw that was always hiding in the center. Just this guy. Alright. And those are what about this? Okay, hold on a second. I'm missing a component. This is the component that I was missing. The antenna. Because I didn't need to take this part out, but I did need to disconnect it. Okay, I'm slightly confused right now. Super slightly confused. Well, let me go ahead and put the camera back. This was the original camera. Okay, now that I have the camera back in, I'm gonna do the camera shield. And then there's a foundation screw. It goes on the top left of the camera. Alright, this guy's a little stubborn. Yeah. I'm just having fun.
You left your container.
Oh yeah, forgot about
You
that.
still on it?
Yeah.
I left it on the paper towel. I'm going to find a small plate.
Okay.
How you been?
Fantastic. It's been good.
That's good.
Did you have some good cake?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I think the carrot cake is my favorite. Yeah, carrot cake, chocolate cake, vanilla cake, coconut, and red velvet. They also had cupcakes. They had like 2 tables.
They have vegans?
I don't think so. But it's for like mostly like married people getting married, so they could like buy cakes for this stuff. It's pretty pricey though.
For cake?
Yeah. Because she designs it, makes the cake, designs it, and all that. So we were asking her like if she can do like one real cake and like the rest be fake tears. She gives the price and we were like, I ain't paying that much for no cake.
$2,000.
The base is $850, and if you want more like details or more like design, it goes up. But then we were like, okay, so what if we do cupcakes, like a small cake, and that one's like cheaper, but it's still pricey.
How much was a cupcake?
It's like $5 something. My budget was $300.
Man, you went in there with, man, he was like...
I was disappointed, I ain't gonna lie. Like, your cake is good, but it ain't that good.
I'm thinking about some cake right now.
Really?
You talking about cake? Huh? What? Yeah, so I'm confused here with this top area. I think I jacked it up. Yeah, you can even connect. So where's the other one again? Oh, the shield goes first, and then the cover goes over. Okay, so I gotta take this out. how does the cover go over? Let me disconnect it first. Oh, that shit goes underneath the motherboard.